First time in studio with D-Lo and KC. Our man Mikey Winfield in here.
In the building.
Yes.
Let's go. What's going on, y'all? What's happening? I saw him. He just hit the turn down the volume button. What's going on?
What's up, man? So real quick, Mike. I don't know. You from Sacramento?
Nah. I mean, it's
I know
like
you got roots.
I was raised
here.
here.
Okay.
That's what I would say, because I was born in Baltimore.
Okay.
But this is where I started stand up. Yeah. This is where I met like everybody that I know.
Yeah.
And you know, when I go on the TV spots, I gotta clear that up so they know, you know, like Sacramento has really the influence on me as far as like stand up goes. So yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Mike, we've been doing radio together for 20 years.
Man.
Yeah.
Mike been doing this a long time, man.
In the business. I know. I started I had to get my permission slip signed before I started stand up. So well, you can get into those places.
You miss radio?
Oh man, come on. I get it. You know, it's fun to watch too, man. Like the people who are really good at it. Like to watch the D-Los over the years, just kind of like navigate and understand it. But yeah, man, I absolutely love radio.
So Punchline December 14th. Is that right? Is that the right day?
Hey man, let me tell you. You better say it. Look, it's December 14th. It's about to be sold out, man.
Yeah.
I got my little TV appearance, and now everybody trying to see it in person.
So let's talk about it.
Yeah.
How much has your life changed since America's Got Talent?
Yo, life is crazy, but it's weird because it has changed a lot because I'm on tour and I'm like working, but my lady's still crazy. You know, she's still saying all that crazy stuff. Like, yeah, I know you out with those. Yeah. You know what she said the other day, man? This is what older women say. I know you're messing with those floozies. I had to look that up. Do you know floozy was like the technical term for whores like 50 years ago? I was like, oh. I had a feeling what it meant, but I went to the Webster and I was like, oh, wow, that was very on point, you know? And, but as far as the career, man, I haven't stopped. Like since I got on the show, I've been working like every weekend. Only reason I'm off this weekend is because I thought I was going to be doing something else that didn't happen.
Oh, man.
So I got off the whole week, which works out because I wanted to tell Sacramento about December 14th so you can hear it here first because it's about to be sold out. It's close already.
Right.
So they can't say that I didn't mention it.
See, just make sure I get in the building, man. I'm trying to check it out, man.
Yeah, man.
I'll stand up, you know, I'll buy my 2 drinks. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Just let me get up in there. That's all I'm looking for.
And I like what's happening on stage now because once you do it this much, you get locked into something that's crazy raw. Like I like to write jokes, but then you don't do that anymore. They're written in your head. I'm like Jay and Wayne. It's in the head. It's just happening in real time for the people.
So I wanted to ask you about the follow up a little bit more on America's Got Talent situation, man. Like you were already doing comedy. You were already, you know, established. You had these shows and on the radio and things of that nature. Like my thought, I could be wrong, but my thought, what America's Got Talent is usually somebody that's like looking for their big break, looking young and up and coming. Like you've been established. And what made you say, man, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go on this America's Got Talent?
Man, I needed more white fans.
Well, NBC, shout out to NBC.
So man, this is what
nothing but Caucasians.
You got to get the balance. No, this is what happens, man. Like I'm like working, and like you're saying, all that's legit. But this is another bump. And it's another group of fans. And you kind of just keep going in this business. And if you can kind of keep going, I said that a long time ago, and people are like, you just don't quit. That's how you make it. That is one of the ways. Like being talented goes a long way. But endurance and just being able to tough out this sleazy business is like a real solid way to stay steady. And so this was a great bump. Like as far as like
I can imagine.
You know, as far as like things I've done,
right?
You know, like some stuff looks real good on the resume, like a David Letterman in The Office. Those look great. And they did okay. But this had access to a lot of people. And so now when I'm touring, man, they coming out and they're loyal and they're passionate. And they're like, you should have won. I'm not watching anymore. You know, and they want me back on. And we even working on that. because I'm trying to take Terry Cruz's job. He knows about this. It's not like a secret as
Yeah.
host of the show. So
Okay.
that's
Okay.
like next in the works. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna
there's something to be said right there about like not thinking that you were too big to go on that show.
Hey,
you know
man.
what I'm saying? Like there's people who probably could have had the same opportunity, but like, oh man, I'm touring right now. Like, what I look like going on America? Like, nah, man, go on there. You saw the bigger picture.
Nah, man, I'm about doors opening, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like you gotta keep moving. And I'm a creative, you know, so I'll get to go in a spot and do something different. I want to feel nerves. Like that's the problem now. I don't get nervous, so I'm too comfortable. So I like to be in some place where I'm like, maybe I'll feel something different that'll give me a drive and a motivation.
Yeah.
Because now I'm just a little too comfortable in life. And it's good to just, you know, feel some things.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, 2 of the 3 judges like loved you. Howie Mandel said, "Yo, if you don't win this thing, you're gonna go on the road and open for me." And then you come back and you do that amazing, you know, second performance where Simon was like, "This is my guy." And I only watched America's Got Talent because you were on it. So when the golden buzzer thing happened, I had to look it up. I just saw Mike got emotional and there was this whole moment. I was like, I don't know what happened, but this was a big deal.
Something happened.
So I started looking up golden buzzer. I was like, yo, man, they did my man Mike right on this.
Yeah, it's a selective few. And after, let me tell you the power of Simon's hand, right? After the golden buzzer, the tickets started selling like crazy. That was like the moment. As soon as his hand went in the air, people started going to the comedy club websites. And I was like, oh, and I was watching it change in real time.
Yeah.
And then Howie's so dope, man. Like I see Howie almost every week. You know, I go to his production company and his family's there, and I like sit in on some of the podcasts, and sometimes he brings me in and he's just kind of like, hey, if you want anything, let me know. So he's almost like, it's good to have someone that's just so dialed into the business that you can just reach out to with regular questions.
Yeah, man.
And he's plugging me in ways where I'm like, yo, this is really like, yo, he has access to some doors opening. So that's fun, man. And then people want to know, let's just end the rumors. Like, you know, Sophia, man, she like got the divorce. And no, me and her or Heidi, we're not dating. They're not old enough. You know, I like I like them real old moms.
Yeah. Mike likes the older women.
Yeah, man, I'm into those moms. I like that wear and tear. Yeah, man. I like when they wear readers. I'm like, she blonde too? Okay. You know? Yo, I was on the way here, man. I saw this older mom. She pulled up next to me. She just stopped in a pickup truck. And she was like, I like those spectacles. I don't know why that turned me on a little. I was like, okay. Then she pulled off, and I was like, ah, man, I can't do that. I can't do that right here. I got to focus. I got an interview.
So you like them seasoned.
Yeah, man, I do. They come out to the show, too. And here's the thing about the seasoned moms. They got the most money. Yo, no disrespect to these girls in their 20s, man, but they still trying to figure it out. They still trying to get through life.
True,
understand things. They can't afford tickets. They can't buy merch. But they're cute. They're cute, but they just can't do nothing, you know? So when I hit that second stage of life, man, you know, man, I might DiCaprio it. You know, that's what I was considering. You know, I might get me a little age limit. But that's on the other side, man. I'm on the first half still.
That's what's up.
How many kids you have?
Several. So, I inherit kids, man, because, you know, the nephews and stuff, man, and the nieces, they end up coming into our place because it's a comfortable spot. You know, like I keep it live. I keep it comfortable and fun. So you just end up having just kids just around in the vicinity, you know? And it's weird, man, because I feel like a terrible parent in a way that none of my kids are trying to be stand-ups. So I'm like, damn, maybe I didn't make it look fun. You know, they like doing real stuff, like trying to be in the computers and all that. And I'm like, okay, you know, but I keep then trying to do what, like my mom was big on, like, you could do anything. So pick whatever it is you want to do, and then it'll find a way to just figure itself out. I think that's the reason I'm doing this. Because, you know, like I went to school and all that. And I got an English degree, and I was like, I teach, you know, and I did it. I did it a little bit, but it was like, what's going to feed my soul?
Yeah.
and this feeds my soul.
Yeah, man. It's what they talk about. What's the saying? Find something you love and you never work a day in your life or something like that.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I mean, it's real, man. Like this, I love doing this. I love this job. I love this arena, and I'm pretty sure you got the same feeling being on stage every night.
Man, the stage is a gift because it's therapeutic. So all the drama I've been going through my entire life, I think I could have got out of the drama. I think I chose to stay in, you know, and it's because I also have this outlet to just throw my feelings out to the world. And then there's people like, yo, man, you talking about my girl. You know, you talking about, you know, like there's people that's like, yo, you talk. No, man, I'm telling my life. And it's a common thread.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason, like, for me, I think that's where the success comes from. It's just like people can relate. Just really just relatable content when you just talk about your problems.
How has the process of you writing changed, you know, from 20 years ago to, you know, with Willie Barcena to being in a production studio with Howie Mandel now?
Well, man, let me tell you, I was thinking this on the walk in here, man. I'll never be as funny as Willie, and I keep trying, man. That dude is the GOAT.
Willie's one of the funniest stand-ups you'll ever see.
So funny, man. And it's just another level. And that's because he's 30 years in, and he never stopped working. So I'm like, damn, man, like, how do I get that funny? And there's people that look at me and they're like, yo, we think you the funniest. Right. And in my head, I am. I really am. Yeah. But it's still, I like the idea of I'm chasing. I'm just chasing like even another level of funny. But the process of writing has changed. It comes quicker now. You know, like I know how I feel. And I think that's about maturing as an adult in life. I just know how I feel about stuff. And I'm not afraid to like play with the cards face up. I'm not afraid to like show the feelings on the sleeve where before I was like, if I say this, I'm gonna look a certain way. Yeah. I just say whatever. Yeah. And you got to say it all because that's how you find the gold. Right. Because you don't know what's funny. I don't know every time what's funny until I get the response from the audience and they're like, hey, man, that was funny. I'm like, okay, I'm keeping that. You know, and now I got to record. Like tomorrow, I need to record this so I can throw this material away and I can move on because I want it kind of documented. It's a lot. It's for legacy, and it's because, man, I think this next special, man, it's gonna be the game changer. I feel like this is gonna be the special that the world talks about for the next 5 years.
I like that.
But I got to record it, and I'm working on that now. I like that. That's a process.
What's the feeling like on both sides when you talk about like you know it from the fans' reaction? So say like you got something, you're like, yo, this joke right here gonna have them going crazy. You say it, and there's like no real response. And then you'll have one where you're like, oh, this is kind of a throwaway one. And they go crazy, like, that's the most funniest. You're like, you guys like this one? like how is that feeling, that dynamic when those two things happen?
Oh, it's interesting. It's a lot of them I talk in the shower. I'm like, oh, I'm a killer with this. And then when I say it, they stare and I'm like, you know what? Some of this I keep just for me. I'm like, man, this make me laugh in my heart. So even though they're not gonna laugh, I'm gonna say it. Yeah. But at least I know they're not gonna laugh the second time. Right. You know, the first time, the first time is when you get that slap in the face. Right. You thought it's gonna kill. And then like, nah, bruh. It's not funny to us. It's not funny. And man, crowds are then they hard. But on the second side, man, sometimes I'm just talking. You know, I'm just saying things, and then they're like, hey man, oh man. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I record everything. So everything for me is documented. Like I audio and I video record everything. Yeah. So then I go back and do the research. And then I'm like, okay, if they like this, let me find out why they like it. And if I said it, it's in me. So let's expand upon it. So I'll stretch out a lot of bits that didn't start off as like something that I necessarily was going to stretch out, but you know, you find the things that connect. And when they connect, they're like, okay, this is for a reason. Yeah. And because I think I'm smart, right? But there's so many people that like have these different levels of intelligence, right? Yeah. And then they like point out certain things. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense for me to grow that. And I should do that. And so I learn by just like feedback and keeping smarter people around me.
You mentioned to us, you're hitting the road again on Tuesday. You've been on this Air Force Base tour for a while. How's that going?
Hey man, that's incredible. So I'm on this Air Force military tour, a lot of cities in the South, and a lot of them are family shows, and they're fans, man. And it's like, even though I want to cuss, man, there's kids, and I'm like, yo, I can keep it clean, because I'm fairly that anyway.
Right.
I just don't like rules. I just don't really like saying like anyone telling me this is how you gotta be. I'd rather just come out and be whatever I am that night.
Yeah.
And it might be clean. I might be going through something. It might be filthy. But when you do these, it's for a cause. So if I'm doing this for the military, man, and they're just so grateful, you should see these bases. They're just so incredibly appreciative. And it makes me feel like, I'm doing this for a reason. Like, don't forget that, like, you're saving lives too, with some of this. So with that, I'm really enjoying the bases, and I got so many more to go. And on top of that, they buy a lot of merch. They buy kid-size shirts.
There we go.
Man?
That's the X factor right there.
Man, I'm selling shades and glasses and stuff, and they buying glasses, and I'm like, hey, man, we're all winning.
Yeah.
We're all winning right now.
BigAssTeeth.com for those who want to grab merch.
And he's not clowning me. It's real.
Yeah. BigAssTeeth.com.
Yeah. And on BigAssTeeth.com, you can go straight. There's another link. It's like Mike'sGlasses.com. If you're just trying to pick up some snazzy retros. I got the plug.
I'm checking it out, man. I'm checking out all that stuff,
but BigAssTeeth.com, you see everything. You see dates, you see, some content, and you find the social medias, and it's all good.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, you were, like we talked about before, you were already established before America's Got Talent. But like you said, that took you to another level. Is there anybody that you've met now that you're like, yo, he or she knows who I am? This is crazy. I looked up to them. I looked up to their work or anything like that. Like, have you had any of those moments of, yo, this dude knows who I am and he thinks I'm funny? This is crazy.
Hey, man, so this is interesting. There's many that know, but they don't acknowledge it. And then when they do, then you're like, okay. So, man, I'm in the Laugh Factory one night, just chilling in the Laugh Factory. I do that a lot. And man, like somebody who I admire, right? So Corey Holcomb's like, hey, yo, Mike Winfield. I'm like, real? That's how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Like, yo, this dude to me is like found his zone in stand-up. And I feel like they know. It's a small community of stand-up. If you're like in it, they know you. And it's whether they're going to acknowledge it or not.
Right.
And then you got to get your own clout, and then you see the things like you're invited to the parties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I'm at the parties, but I'm just kind of to the side. I'm chilling, and it's all good. But then, I think everybody already knows, man.
Right.
And that might sound a little like,
it's real though. I mean,
little, it could be on the arrogant side, but I have been doing it 20 years and I have been on a lot of stuff. So if you're just talking about amongst the comedians, yes, there's a whole lot of fans. It's like, yo, I don't know this fool, like who's it? And that's great too.
Yeah.
Because if you're seeing me for the first time live, your life is about to be different.
I like that.
Yeah. Like the first time,
yeah.
Like there's people that see me a lot of times. They like, oh yeah, we know him. We know this dude. We know him. It's comfort. But to see me at 20 years for the first time, I would like to see that. I would like to see that. It's something.
Do you have the tapes and audio and all that stuff from 20 years ago?
I do.
Like when you were doing 3 minutes and 5 minutes and
even the clothes, like none of it fit. None of the clothes fit, man. It was these baggy, dumb looking pants and shirts that was hanging there to my knees, and then the neck hole was super big, man. So it was, I ain't had a fro, like it was like it was the coming up fro. It was like the mid halfway fro. Like, this is funny to watch, man. I think like that's all for the doc. It's gonna be the doc is gonna come soon.
So I mean, come on, man. We kind of buried the lead, man. This was the morning show, man. This is
right.
Come on, man, Mikey Winfield. I mean, y'all back together after what you say, 20 years?
Yeah, no, it was so me and Willie did that morning show on KSFM starting in like 2004. And Willie and Mike linked up. And Mike, this is why I say about Mike, man, that was pretty early in Mike's process of being a comedian, right? And he sat down next to Willie, and he's right. Like, Willie's brilliant. The only reason, and he'll tell you this, the only reason Willie isn't a mega star is because he's a dick.
Yeah.
That's the only, like, that's it. Like, he burned so many bridges, like, along the way. He's funnier than George Lopez. He's funnier than anyone you can think of. Like, his stand-up is bordering on untouchable. There's a recent episode of the Joe Budden podcast where he's playing a clip from a comedian and he's telling this really over-the-top gay joke. And it's Willie. It's one of Willie's jokes. And I was listening to it. I was like, yo, that's Willie. Like, what is this?
Yeah, right.
But he refused to like conform who he was, and he didn't treat people the best. And he'll be the first to tell you that. This is the only reason he's not a megastar. But that same guy was like, oh, we got a young dude. I'm gonna work with him and like give him tips like on how to write, because like dude was always writing.
Yeah.
Always, like from newspapers, from CNN, from anything he saw, anything we talked about, like he'd write about it. And that's where I watched Mike. Hey, come in, on this day. And every week that day, Mike would be there at 6 a.m., next to Willie and taking notes on how to write jokes, and watching Mike go from 3 minutes to 5 minutes to, 8 minutes to 10 minutes. Like, all of that stuff, it doesn't seem like a lot, like 3 to 5 minutes, 5 to 8 minutes. Those are huge steps. And, watching Mike grow to that point to where, he's doing specials, multiple specials on Amazon and all of these different platforms. He talks about doing a clean show. That was one of the dopest things about seeing America's Got Talent in Vegas. I saw one of his last residency performance. It was a family show. Like, it's America's Got Talent. Like, it's TV. It was clean.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty. That's what I think a great comedian's jokes are funny without the cuss words. Right? I think Bring the Pain is one of the great comedy specials of all time. If you take out all of the bad words and Bring the Pain, it's still funny. Like, Mike is funny without cussing.
Yeah.
And just watching Mike to get to this point, man, and being able to go to, Vegas and see him and America's Got Talent, all of that stuff is phenomenal.
Hey, man, thank you. Thank you, man. Let me tell you, it is a pleasure to come up under a guy like Willie, man. A lot of guys, they're kind of like, they're envious of that, the stand-ups, because he didn't take a lot of people under his wing. So they're just like, dang, man, like, you had that opportunity. And man, we did some road trips and I saw some stuff I can never say. I can never say. You know what I mean? And I don't know. It's weird too, because now that has entered my bloodline. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, yeah, man. But even though I'm like, Mecca's success is great.
Yeah.
And it looks good from the outside. But yo, just being able to do this, he's doing well. Willie's doing well. He's on the road. He's doing what he wants to do. Yeah, man, like, I'm doing incredible. Things are amazing, but it's the bottom line is the fact that I get to do this. The fact that I get to not being my own home all 7 days, because I couldn't survive in my own home 7 days with my wife. So now, man, if I got 3 days away,
pandemic is crazy.
Yo, man, that's the reason we hanging on by a thread right now, is because of the pandemic. And so to give us the balance we need is the blessing in this, to be able to do it.
Real quick. Well, I was just going to ask Mike before we got out of here.
No, we ain't going nowhere.
Okay,
we're good.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
we got time.
Were you on that show at Pepper Belly's in Fairfield?
Pepper Belly.
Were you on?
Not Pepper Mill, Pepper Belly.
Pepper Belly's. When Willie drank too much in the second show, they started throwing chicken wings at him.
Oh, they was throwing chicken wing bones.
Yeah,
they was throwing lime slices.
Yeah, it was rough.
But this is
why they do that though.
This is what happened, man. We gotta tell it. Hey man, let me do my version.
Okay.
Yours is better. So man, he's killing, man. But then he's like getting faded, right?
Yeah.
And then he's talking about like the real women that he loves. Like this is the type of woman that I love. Then he brings this woman on stage.
Oh,
and
no.
man, she's an attractive
Oh, no.
woman. But he's like, see, this is the woman I like right here, like a real woman. Like she ain't all like beautiful or whatever, but like she does the work that she needs to do at home, you know, like, cause you know, like everybody thinks they gotta have this attractive, like he was roasting her.
Buried her.
He didn't know he was though in his heart. In his heart, it was coming from a good place. And yo, they started pulling lime slices out the tequila. They was throwing them. D-Lo had to run on stage. Yo, he needed to be saved. And Willie didn't know that he needed to be escorted off.
Yeah.
So I remember Dame, man, he put his arm around Willie like, bro, it's over. He was like, it's over. And yo, I was like, whoa, what's happening? Because you couldn't miss this. You had to see this.
Oh, man.
Yo, this was in Fairfield. This was like one of the greatest shows.
I was scared
all
to
time.
death. I had to do 5 minutes of comedy just to try to get everybody home happy. Oh man, yeah, they were throwing chicken wings, and the
Oh, man.
he was questioning like his life's decisions. And Willie, when Willie get like really drunk, he turns into a kid, right? So he does this thing, you know, you put your hands in your pockets and you do the thing like this.
Yeah.
I had to get Willie back to the hotel
Yeah.
because his manager had to settle up with, he had to deal with the fallout.
Yeah, like what we gonna do? Like, he's like, I sold a bunch of tequila. I should still get paid. He's like, but you bailed. Like,
hey, Willie, it's cool. Like, it's fine. Oh, bro. He gets out the car and I'm walking him to his room and he's just doing this walk like he's 10 years old. He's like, man, I ain't doing this no more. I ain't cut out for comedy. Like, I'm gonna do something else.
No.
And he's got his head down and he's doing the thing where he's like kicking his feet forward. I ain't doing this no more. And I go in the room and I'm just gonna sit here until he passes out.
Yeah.
And he puts on like he would watch like the most random like Western like TV show. Passed out 10 minutes later. Shows up on Monday. Hey, that was wild, huh, bro? Like, yeah, Willie, that was something, bro. That was something.
oh, man.
I thought you would have. I thought you opened for him that show. Yeah, that's one of my favorite. I mean, now that it's behind us, that was one of my favorite memories ever.
Yeah, in the moment, man, it was like, I don't know how to feel. It was like, yo, this is really happening. Really.
Yeah.
I knew it was legendary at the moment, but it was still like, hey, man, I don't want that to happen to me.
Yo, the running joke on this show is Kenny has never seen The Office. Kenny doesn't know Mike's on season 8 of The Office.
I didn't know that until he just said
That
it.
right?
Yeah. Mike's on season 8 of The Office.
And
So
I like the show. Like
when
I'm always watching like some random basketball game instead of watching The Office. I like it. I chuckle at it. The 5 episodes I've seen,
Right.
but I got to get there.
Hey, man,
so
you gotta
when
get to
Kenny's
season 8.
75, he'll finally get to season 8 and see that. Oh man,
I've been saying
man,
this
Mike
for
is
like
on it.
2 years now. Like, hey, I've watched The Office. I watched the basketball episode,
Right.
and I haven't gone past it yet.
Yeah, it's like
Maybe I'll watch it this
it's
week.
like just go to
No,
season 8.
watch it this
Just go to
weekend.
season 8 and watch.
No, that's what I'm
Mike.
saying.
Yeah,
I
just skip it.
watched Mikey this weekend.
Yo, man, what's amazing about The Office, like other than being on it, it's incredible, you know, cult followers. But yo, I'm in a small circle of comedians who have been on there. And when I talk about those few names, the names are Craig Robinson and Patrice O'Neal, who to me is like one of the GOAT comics of all time. You know, like easily top 3.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Patrice. He's
Yeah,
not with us
R.I.P.
anymore, is he?
Yeah. Patrice O'Neal. And I'm like, yo, man, I was a warehouse worker too. So that's like, that's a short list of like really amazing stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Man.
You know what's funny is I got my wife. Not my wife. We just got married a couple weeks ago.
Congratulations, man. Hey.
Her family is from Baltimore. And,
no.
And I you know what the crazy thing is, I enjoy Baltimore when I go back. Like, it's a good time out there.
It's good to visit.
So it's good to visit. They took me somewhere in West Baltimore one time, and we was driving through. I was like, this looks like the roughest place ever. My gosh. But I enjoyed my time in Baltimore. But I only say that because I don't know if you still have a Baltimore accent, but I feel like I hear it when you say certain things.
Yeah, certain words. It's like it lingers. It's in there, you know. And man, Baltimore's beautiful. Like it really is. When I go back,
my
man,
time out there.
I sell all the tickets, man. It's all love.
Yeah.
It's just, man, even the homies I talk to from school, they like, yo, it hasn't changed. And that's the scary part is that it's still the same dangerous city, man. And it's like, man, like I grew up there and, you know, I made it. And it's just a wild thing. And then, you know, it was always Baltimore was always Baltimore. It's always crazy hood, but I was used to it. It was just kind of my life. So then I would go to other hoods and other places, and then I would be like, you know, it didn't faze me because I was like, I was from Baltimore where it felt dangerous. But, you know, that was the naive part of me, man, because there's a lot of other dangerous places. They just might not look as dangerous.
I remember, like I said, I was going through West Baltimore. It was just concrete, brick buildings. I said, damn, it was cold out here. Like, like it's cold. But I got to tell people all the time, man. I've been back a handful of times since I've been with her. I enjoy myself every time. Baltimore's a cool spot. Obviously, just the regular neighborhoods that we go around to, but you go down to the harbor and all that.
Oh, absolutely.
Stuff. I have a good time every time I go to Baltimore.
And if you eat that stuff like I used to, man, it's delicious. Like if you into like crab cakes and stuff like that.
Crab heavy.
Hey,
I'll be on the crab heavy.
That's one of the things I miss, man. Like I changed all my like eating habits and stuff like that. But man, if that's crab cakes, they're golden. Oh man, delicious.
Yeah. What's next? Like what? Like you going back on tour? You're going back on this the Air Force Base tour next week. But like what you talked about the special, the doc. Like what's
let me tell you what's next. What's next is the game changer, man. And man, I say these things out loud because they always manifest, right? And what's next is the writer's strike ended.
Yeah, thank God.
Now, I'm back on my TV show grind.
I was just about to ask, what's the acting looking like?
And let me tell you about it, man. We got a strong team, man. Like one of my like biggest fans is Raven Simone. So I'm creating a show with her. I got like Lindsay Goffman. She made The Good Doctor. She's in that show. Then we got this another guy we're bringing in. He may or may not be a part of it, but he's a big fan. He created That 70s Show.
Oh, wow.
And I got like the strongest team walking in the door. And I've had the good ideas forever, but I've never had this strong of a team to walk in and sell the show. And that's where we are now, man. And I've been talking this same TV show stuff for probably the last 15 years, you know, but right now it feels better than ever. Yeah. And I'm gonna just, like I said, man, I'm keep shooting from three, man. I'm gonna keep taking these shots, man. It's gonna land. And this TV show, let me tell you about it. It's gonna be. Remember when Eddie was talking about the Boom Boom Room on Life?
Ray's Boom Boom Room.
Ray's Boom Boom Room. Yo, this is gonna be 7 seasons, man. It's gonna be the funniest. This is gonna be about me having a stepson that's like my same age.
Oh,
I call him Stepman, right?
Stepman.
And that's what the show, man. It's gonna be a solid 7 seasons, and this is what's gonna happen. They're not even gonna cancel it. I'm gonna walk away.
I'm
gonna walk away.
I'm gonna end it. Yeah, I'm in. Mike, I act, man. I don't need a lead role, but just, you know, I'll be in the background, like doing something, ordering coffee or something like that.
I got you. Yeah. Put you in the back.
He gonna Steve Carell this joint, and he just gonna like Steve Carell did on The Office. He's just gonna be out. Gonna have to find a new dad for Stepman. Yo, that's gonna be fire. I need that. I need a Stepman TV show.
The world's ready, man.
Hey, man, I need that. So what's up with your sports takes, man? You a Kings fan?
What's up, man? What's up, man? What's going on? Takes. I've been waiting.
You a Kings fan? I mean, did you adopt the Kings from being in Sacramento?
I'm a Kings fan, man.
Michael Hooper.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, I want to just. Yo, man, I want to show people, man. Like, they don't even know, man. Like, they don't know when we hoop. They don't even know if I'm left or right, man. I want to let these people know.
It's like, man, that.
No, they don't know me on the court, man. And now I'll be playing with them because, you know, I'm a little slower now. I've aged a bit.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I'm there.
Yeah, but
I'm there.
But that's when you realize the smartness.
Yeah.
Like there's players with IQs. Like you do things differently now. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have to outrun you anymore.
Now, I get any shot I want to, but I know how to get there. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
gonna be
use
a
my
different
team
way.
more. Right,
Yeah.
right. I'm using screens and stuff, man. I'm using screens and
Yeah.
rec ball.
Hey, come get me. Hey, so hey, I know you was super busy, but did you follow like what the Kings did last year and breaking the drought? And
Yeah,
you like I said, you lived here, you've worked here, you know how important the Kings are to this city.
right.
Like, were you able to follow like
No.
how crazy it was out here?
Absolutely, man. And here's the thing. I think they're going to have another incredible season. And I still think there's always things to put us over the top. And I don't think put us over the top means acquiring necessarily the right players immediately. I think it's making this a fun place. Like letting everybody know, like, yo, come kick it in Sac, man. Like we got like a good vegan restaurant, like letting you know this. It's a cool hangout.
Straight up.
And then, or maybe sometimes it's the place you need to do if you want to have your family safe and you just want to be, and I think that's how you acquire the players, man, other than having like the big name that just draws them in.
Right.
It's like, I think there's still a couple pieces. I think we have a good conference finals team. I think we could easily be top 4 in the
Western
Conference. But I still think there's pieces when you see what other teams are adding across the league. The league is strong, man.
A lot of talent, man.
And I love it. I love it. That's what you want to see, man. You want to see this talent. And I think the NBA is more talented than it's ever been because almost every player to start now started when they was 5, and then their parents was in the league, and they got everything. So
got trainers at 5 years old.
Yeah, they started like that. So it's bigger than just, you got to be deep. You got to have the camaraderie. You got to have those solid pieces. And we got a nice, strong core. So we're in the right direction.
Yeah. I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
December 14th, Mikey's first show here, 2 years?
Yeah, this is the first show in Sac in like 2 years.
Man, I'm there, man.
Yeah,
I'm
we
there.
in there.
100%.
We in there. I've already gotten texts. Hey, make sure we got tickets. December 14th. Punchline, Mikey Winfield. There aren't many tickets left, though. That's a shoot. That's real. There are not very many tickets left. So if you want to be a part of this, you got to go grab them now. Head over to the Punchline's website. Head over to bigassteeth.com, MikeyWinfield.com, Mikey'sGlasses.com. Those are all his websites.
Yes, they are.
Support our man Mikey, man. I'm so happy we finally got to connect here in the studio on the new show, hang out and talk. And, you always got a home here.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all. I think you know it, but I do. I
Yes,
really
indeed.
appreciate it.
It's love.
Yes, indeed.
It's
That's
love.
a man, Mikey Winfield. We're back.